Bakari could not rest after discovering the scroll. Each word gnawed at him like hunger. A kingdom beyond the sands, a city untouched by time. His mind burned with questions, but one truth was certain: he could not seek it alone. He gathered companions for the journey. First was Idriss, a seasoned caravan guide, whose eyes had measured the desert's horizons more times than he could count. The desert is alive, he warned Bakari. It devours men who walk without purpose. If you chase a mirage, it will swallow you whole. Next came Zara, a healer with quiet strength, who had lost her family to raiders. She joined not for gold, but for knowledge, the hope that hidden wisdom could heal more than wounds of flesh. And finally, Malik, a restless warrior, his blade sharp but his temper sharper. He cared little for knowledge. He wanted riches, glory, and the promise of a name sung in songs. Together, they set out from Timbuktu, their camels heavy with water and supplies. For days they traveled under the blazing sun and the cold, merciless stars. The desert stretched endless, a sea of shifting dunes that swallowed their footprints as quickly as they made them. At first, the journey seemed ordinary. Heat, thirst, silence. But then, the signs began. On the third night, Idriss woke to hear drums echoing across the sands. Yet there was no village nearby, no festival. The rhythm was steady, haunting, as if calling from beneath the dunes. When he asked if the others heard it, only Bakari and Zara nodded. Malik slept undisturbed. On the fifth night, Zara saw figures in the distance, tall, robed shadows walking along the ridges of the dunes. She called to them, but when Idriss raised his lantern, the sands were empty. Guardians, Idriss muttered, his face pale. We are being watched. And then came the seventh day. They stumbled upon an ancient ruin half buried in the sand. Crumbling pillars carved with strange symbols rose like bones from the desert. Bakari traced the markings with his hand. The same words he had read in the scroll: to enter, one must pay the price of memory. Before they could wonder what it meant, Malik laughed. Old stones, nothing more. He struck one pillar with his blade, mocking its power. The desert answered. The ground trembled. From the sands rose shapes, tall figures cloaked in shadow, faces hidden beneath veils of dust, their eyes glowing like fireflies. The air grew heavy, and the desert wind howled like 1,000 voices. The guardians had come. Bakari's heart raced. The scroll's warning was true. They were not the first to seek the Forbidden Kingdom. But if they were to survive, they would have to prove themselves worthy. The sands had become a battlefield, and the journey of shadows had only begun. If you stood before the guardians of silence, would you fight, flee, or bow before them? Tell me in the comments, and remember to subscribe to True African Stories so you don't miss part 3.